Dr. Judith Etienne. I have never been so nervous since I defended my dissertation. 4 hours talking to Victor and his team about theoretical metals, atomic bonding, even a half-hour divergence into magnetism that I'm pretty sure was to throw me off the trail of what we were actually talking about. Then I got to see the lab. I don't know how much I should say, but the periodic table just got thrown out the window.
Judith, look, not here, okay? I'll tell you everything. But I'm not lying, okay? We're going to discover something important here. I promise.
Project log. Dr. Judith Petian. I watched the gravjet tests from the moon today. It was the first time we were able to talk to the team at Nova Galactic directly. So many things were under wraps before, but now everyone wants all the publicity they can get. I'm already seeing proposals for manufacturing androids of drives, expeditions to Alpha Centauri and beyond. It's also overwhelming and worrying. It could take years, decades, before we know what all these side effects of operating a grav drive can be. But no one wants to hear that right now. Like a bunch of pioneers racing towards the edges of the frontier without knowing about the grizzly bears in the mountains.
got to visit your lab.
I know.
My name is Dr. Victor Isa. And if you're listening to this, then you probably already know the truth. I was young when I first headed the retrieval team of an odd gravitational anomaly on Mars. But I kept what really happened that day hidden from everyone except one other person. Even she didn't believe me at first. But I have no reason to lie to anyone now, so I hope you'll accept this confession, whoever you are. When I touched the anomaly, I experienced 12 days of lost time. I met myself. He told me everything that has since come true. The grav drive equations, the tests on the moon, Earth's atmosphere sputtering away because of what we had done. But he also told me about a city thriving on a planet orbiting a distant star. Human culture, art, music, lifestyles evolving and shining brightly across all of space. What price would I be willing to pay for that future? maybe Judith was right and I'm just a coward who wants to believe his mistakes were justified. But everyone has forgotten about the real of the ground.
You arrived on the surface of Earth. We need to discuss what you found.
And it looks like other Starborn got here before us. So, you might have company.
What is it? Due for one. The contents, what we agreed on?
Yes, Vladimir and I agreed on what should be included.
That's all fine then. Do let me know.
Do you understand now why I asked you to come here? The artifacts unlocked the secret of interstellar travel. At the cost of Earth.
An easy trade, honestly. Why have one world when you can have all the settled systems? Assuming we weren't going to lose it anyway. War, disease, famine, all the classics.
Don't you see? The power of the artifact forced humanity to the stars. They didn't get to make a choice. How many would have chosen Earth? What gave Victor Isa the right to choose for them?
You see the hypocrisy in what the emissary is saying, right? They don't want to rob people of their free will, but then they steal the artifacts for themselves.
In the wrong hands, the power of the artifacts can make anyone a tyrant. That is why we watch over them. The only thing you're watching out for is yourself.
Don't be a fool. The emissary and I may have our differences, but you do not want to give us a common enemy.
For once, he is right. Don't do this. We can collect the final pieces together. Thank you.
Well, can't say I didn't try. We'll settle this at the usual place.
The buried temple. We'll be there.
You're lucky I'm a man of my word. I'll see you there.
Stay for a moment. You must have questions about what happens next. We will not be able to go to the buried temple right away. There are still other artifacts out there in the settled systems that haven't been gathered. You will need to work with your colleagues in Constellation to find them. There's always a final artifact in a specific temple. The hunter and I agreed that whoever you sided with, the other would wait there. Expect anything and everything. Other starborn, human mercenaries and defenses, alien creatures under mind control. It's all fair game. He and I have made a number of agreements over the years, if you can even call them years at this point. We let him go. In exchange, he'll wait at the buried temple. You'll be able to prepare any way you can before then. Tell me what you need. I will meet you in orbit above the buried temple. We'll face what's there together. All of the other artifacts need to be gathered before the final one will reveal itself. I will be bringing mine. The hunter will be bringing his. And you will need to bring the rest. All of the ones Constellation can find.
Yes?
Remember to turn in any evidence fragments you find. We'll provide you with information, but any inventory or ship services, it's best you get from the fleet. It'll help you maintain your cover and also give you an idea of how the fleet's operation works. They're pirates in every sense of the word, but they've managed to get more organized under their current leadership. That makes them especially dangerous, but hopefully it makes them a little more predictable too. Two reasons. First, Commander Akande's playing this operation extremely close to the vest. That means keeping prisoners under his own roof until this is resolved. Second, this is an undercover mission. For our safety and yours, we need to keep these prisoners out of the spotlight. Not really, no. I've learned to keep my personal experiences separate from the job. Yeah. Maybe. No, it's not really an appropriate time to be going over my private life. There are much more important things to be done. Let's just stick to the job at hand and concentrate on the mission. But, maybe we can talk about it some other time, okay? Glad to hear it. Let's see what you got. It's amazing that all this romantic nonsense about Crix's legacy really just amounts to a rumor Jasper Crix picked up in jail. It just goes to show you how a tiny rumor can snowball into a full-blown fairy tale. Anything else? All right. Keep up the good work. We'll be here if you need us.
I woke up in the middle of the night once and found Ensign Betty tinkering. Anything you need to offload? Trade authorities always buy.
You have my attention.
can I do for you?
Limited resource. Okay. What? You're a sighter. You're going to feel this. All fixed up, bested. Or no road.
Personally, I think take your time. I got home. Hey, take it easy. You ask me, the real New Atlantis is down here. I got contacts on. Take your time. You need something else? I'll be here. Happy to make a deal. Take your time. Watch your back out there. All this stuff is absolutely. Hey, take it easy.
civilization is no stranger to loss. Our own founder left on an expedition and no... It is easy to think about the glory and excitement of breaching into the unknown, of lighting the darkness. But it is harder to stare into the face of the cost. That all of our progress is built on top of the lives of those who dared. And that we owe them the courage to continue our work in their memory.
Thank you, Sarah. If anyone else would like to say a few words. Thank you. If anyone else wants to say something.
My boy. I've lost my boy.
I thought maybe I would come up with something to say, but...
What do you mean? Nothing wrong with me and my son. Sure, we yell. Families are supposed to yell at each other. It's what keeps us honest. If you can't show your worst side to the people closest to you, who can you?
A long time ago. Is God real? The more proper question would be, is reality divine?
I hope this is all okay. Between fixing things up and sending out messengers and getting all the paperwork done. It's not much. No, it's fine. Sorry, if I talk any longer, I'm gonna start crying. Could you excuse me?
What is goodness but a comparison to the good? What is existence but a participation in being?
You know,
Where the diversity of the
what you're feeling right now is a chemical reaction whose evolutionary goal is promoting social cohesion.
So pure,
Never seems to work for me. No matter how many times I do this, I feel less attached, not more.
Our essence is what was imagined by its mind.
Well, look at us. Two lone wolves howling at the moon on the same night. You know, if there's one piece of advice I can actually give you, it's that lost loved ones have a way of coming back to you. One day you'll be sweeping out some old shelf or digging through a desk, and there it'll be. Some old paperweight of theirs, or a piece of jewelry they gave you, half jokingly. Theoretically, of course.
Thank you.
That was really thoughtful, Mateo. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Does anyone else want to say anything?
Dusty. Dusty. Let's talk.
Everyone is in mourning. I understand, but I cannot quite share in their emotion.
I don't often speak about what
I have seen death. I have lost people I considered close.
But death...
But this is...
one of those occasions where it's hard.
It is not the same. I cannot explain why. I am not sure I am making sense.
There's no
Thank you.
or second meetings. No God in heaven that...
Hey,
If you are free,
how are you holding up?
So it's
could
up
we
to us.
talk?
We are what lives on.
Take some time for yourself, okay? Plenty of rooms to sit down in if you need to be alone for a while. We'll get through this. It might feel like everything's falling apart, but that's why we need to stick together.
Humanity
Anytime.
truly creates our world. We are the ones that judge things to be good or evil.
It almost feels wrong to be grieving. selfish. No amount of tears will bring the dead back. It's just easier to feel guilty, if you'll excuse me.
Walter, are you part of the House of Enlightenment? I never knew that.
Yes, well, I like to keep some things private.
I am told these types of gatherings are a sad occasion. That assumption appears to be correct. No, I don't. I'm programmed to analyze sensory and biometric data, so I can cross-reference. But I do not feel, as you seem to imply. I appreciate you verifying my analysis, although I am certain my thanks will do little to improve your current psychological trauma. If you would like, though, I can add some consoling language to my programming.
Not comforting, huh? But I disagree. Do you know what I find uncomfortable?
It will take some time to adapt, but it will be okay. How was that? I will note that feedback for later.
And some people go way before they should.
Chat for a bit? Normally, I hate talking to people at funerals. But,
Because it's
well,
infinite, ever expanding. And who wouldn't want to be a part of infinity?
you don't believe in the afterlife, do you? I mean, this might be the worst time to bring it up, but...
We don't worry about ourselves before we were born, do we? Of course not. We
Yes.
emerge from the universe
Won't
and
we all?
return to it.
Well, I've taken up enough of your time.
Yes, that certainly was an interesting perspective, Barrett.
Hi. So many people here. So many people saying goodbye. Huh. Are we supposed to feel better? Just because we're all in one place? It's just... it doesn't change anything, does it? Every day is going to be worse now. Don't you get that? I want to be alone for a while, okay?
You one of Sam's constellation people? Lillian Hart. He probably never mentioned me. I mean, I try not to talk about him, so... I'm sorry. That was a terrible thing to say. Cora's mother, Sam's ex. God, I'm rambling. Look, I don't know who I should speak to about this, but Cora and I talked, and she's coming to live with me. Right now, she's taking it all so hard. She wants to get away from here. In time, maybe she'll come back. She talked about you all the time. But right now, she just needs to get away from all the reminders of Sam. We'll be leaving soon, so say your goodbyes to her, if you like.
Drink? Pour one out to the blackest sea? Two old friends. May their ghosts go past the edges of space, to the great beyond. I... saw a lot of death in the fleet. Part of the reason I left. You stop feeling. Rather be sad than numb.
What can I help you with?
Gave up my room in the lodge so Andreja had a place to call her own. Everyone needs space to let their thoughts run solo. Been poring over the charts, looking for another match. Think this one might just be it.
Vasco, we haven't run a deep diagnostic on you in a while, have we?
Something you need?
Still need... Got one. Never regretted coming out. Jaw the words another time then. Oh, you've tipped my ear. Raise the thoughts with you later.
Vasco, quick! Top 3 one-liner moments.
Yes, Barrett. Number 3. Your retort to the Crimson Fleet Raiders on Leonis 3.
Yes, classic.
Number 2. Your wisecrack.
You've got something for me? Yep, here you go. Yes.
I wanted to thank you. You seem to be acclimating well to Constellation. Are you enjoying working with them? I think none of us were expecting what we have found. Well, perhaps Matteo. You have certainly become a vital part of the organization. That is a credit to your abilities. If I may, from what you have seen, do you think I fit in well with the rest of Constellation? I cannot tell if that is a compliment or an attempt to avoid the question. I will assume the former. I have a very different background from the rest of Constellation. I carry myself differently. I worry that some of the others are unable to see past this. I have not shared much, but everyone knows I worked with smugglers for years. I am no stranger to violence and death. Why should I be? It was necessary for survival. I would not be here otherwise. For those that have not lived it, it can be difficult to imagine or accept. Others here have seen conflict, but for more noble causes. Vladimir is the only one here who can begin to understand. He was the one who pressed the group to include me. I lack his charm. He puts others at ease. I fear my presence does the opposite. That is kind of you. You also have a lot going. I find expressing affection difficult, but truly. Thank you. I know this seems trivial, perhaps childish. I have just always relied only on myself. I have never been surrounded by people like this. By a group I wish to be a part of. Does that make sense? And yet here we are, working together. And that has, I think, gone very well. Discussing these things is challenging for me. I hope now you can better understand why I wanted to keep the circumstances of our meeting quiet. I wanted to thank you for not saying anything to Vladimir. I know that you said you wouldn't, but it is still a relief. I would like my contributions to Constellation to amount to more than violence. It would have been, to some. Thank you for talking this over with me. It is good to know that at least one member of Constellation understands me. finally have all the answers. And yet here I stand, feeling like I understand even less than I did before. This talk of the unity of a multiverse? Dead friends appearing again? It is all simply too much. And you think it is just that simple? It would seem to me that verifying this is much like verifying the idea of an afterlife. If this is all true, as the Starborn say, then passing through the unity will allow one to know the truth. But whomever does that will then never be able to report that truth back to the rest of us. What good then does it do us? Only because they claim it does. We must take them at their word, or enter this unity from which there is no coming back to find out for sure. What if none of it is true? What if it is all some kind of trick? Or perhaps even worse. What if it is true, and none of us ever sees the others again? Yes, I understand there are profound implications to all of this, but I do not see how you can be so eager to follow in the footsteps of the Starborn. Even if everything the Starborn have said is true, if you pass into this unity and come out in some other universe, look at who they are, at what they have become. They have the faces and voices of people you know, but are nothing like them. Are you not at all worried that the same fate would befall you? That you would become someone unrecognizable to the rest of us? Now you sound like Sarah, but you are not wrong. I will do my best to assume the best, but you cannot blame me for preparing for the worst. We should get back to it. Now that we know what to work towards, there's no time to waste.